Here we have our energy processing lab. It's going to be using this PhET simulation here. So when you open up the lab document, which you can see on the left side of the screen, you're going to click on the link here and it's going to open looking like this simulation right here. Okay, so make sure that you do read through the purpose, introduction, and background before moving on to the directions. But once you're in the directions, again, the link is there as well. First thing you're going to do is click on the tab glass layers, which is at the top here. So notice there's 3 different tabs here. And when you're in the glass layers, you can look at what's happening here. We've got our legends, or our yellow lights are our sunlight photons, the red are the infrared photons. Here in a little bit, it's going to ask you to change the number of glass panes, and you'll be able to do that on the right hand side here. It shows the thermometer so that you can see the temperature. You can also click view all photons if you want, or you can bring it down to just a smaller size just so it's easier to see. And then there's also the reset button where you can reset all of your settings as well. Okay, so as you move through this part of the lab, you're going to be just using the options that are in the legend here. So you're just going to be changing the number of glass panels here. This third step, which is the second part of the lab, is going to ask you to move to the greenhouse effect. So that's here. We still have our sunlight and infrared, but notice now you'll be able to change the greenhouse gas concentrations. So we've got different concentrations, and we've got different colored lines here. Those different colored lines all indicate different time periods. So you have today, which is the green line, 1750, which is the purple, and then we have the ice age, which is blue. All right, so you'll be able to click those as well. So the first thing it'll say is to reset all, and then click today. Then it'll ask you to add to it. So you can add clouds here in the options, and then again, you can view all photons or keep it to a smaller number, which is a little bit more manageable sometimes. You've got your thermometer here as well, which you can see the changes that are sometimes happening, and then you can click through the different parts or the different times, and then you can also adjust concentrations as well. And through here is how you're adjusting that concentration if you wanted to adjust it as well. So you're going to move through filling out the data table here for that part of the graph. Then it asks you to look at this, for that part of the lab. Then it asks you to look at this graph, and you're going to answer the questions there, and that's when you're going to go to the adjustable concentration, where you can then play with this slider and seeing where the slider is going to move. Then the last part, you're going to go to the photon absorption, which is on step 6 here. So you're going to go to that tab here. And when you're in the tab, you can change the different atmospheric gases with that, and then you can change the amount that's coming out and the type. So we've got infrared photons, and then we have visible photons as well. So it is going to ask you to select the gas molecule form. So we want to make sure that we're moving at different forms, and we're going to shoot an infrared at it by adjusting the sliding bar, which is again here. So you're going to make sure you're in your infrared, and you're going to move here, and it wants to know which gases are greenhouse gases and which gases are not. So that's when you can move through these different things here, and it can give you a little bit more of an info with that. And then you're going to answer the conclusion questions here. So hopefully that helps you with moving through the lab and using the PhET simulator.